Okay, so I spent way too much time in there, and I actually forgot the other stuff I had to get today. So I got a bunch of stuff. I got a Home Depot bucket, which you always got to buy one every time you go in there. You have to. It's imperative. And then so I got some tape. I got some insulation. I got some duct work. I'm going to try to wrap that around some of the propane tanks. I don't think it's going to do much, but it might insulate them enough so that especially in minus 40 degree weather, it doesn't start to kind of turn back into liquid. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And also bought a really tiny space heater. And now I'm not gonna reload on propane today. I'm gonna let you know what's there. I'm gonna let it die out if it dies out, and then I'm just gonna use this little tiny heater and see what happens. You gotta try it in the worst conditions. You have to try this stuff in the worst conditions, or else you really don't know how far it can go. I'm going to assume that I'm going to be a little cold, even wrapped up in a blanket or two with the space heater directly under me. But I can get through that. I know I'm not going to die, so I might be a little cold. I just got to keep wrapping up. But last night was pretty brutal. That was minus 40, I think. And literally, the heater was on the whole night. Like, it was doing all it could just to maintain, like, 50 degrees. So I might be overworking it in that way, but again, these are conditions that you don't expect, but when it happens, you want to be able to survive them. I think we'll be all right with this. I just gotta figure out how to make sure my propane doesn't. It got really screwy last night because of the weather. So I got a little space heater. It was only $30, pretty good, handy heater, something pure warmth. It's a really small one, but it says it does 250 square feet. So I'm gonna head that way. Like I said, I forgot what I was getting. I forgot the other stuff I needed to get. So I'm gonna drive around for a little while to try to remember. I should have wrote it down. But anyway, I have a good one. Have a happy holiday. I can immediately feel the heat coming off this thing. It's quite warm already. It just started. I don't know where the settings are, but I'll look for it. Basically what it does is it takes the air from the outside, sucks it in, goes through this little convection heater, and then it comes out the other side as warm air. I know there's a way to set it for a couple different settings, but for right now, it's pretty nice. It's actually really warm. So cool, yeah, it works. So how I've decided to use this is I'm basically putting this underneath my dinette table, and then it will heat up this whole area down here, and all this. You like my Band-Aid? Yeah, that's my Band-Aid right there. But yeah, all this area through here, my legs, my hand, everything's warm from right here, and that's just a few feet away. So pretty nice, good stuff. It doesn't need to be super tight, but I put a little piece of tape on it, and now I'm going to put the next official touch on it. But basically, this is also duct installation, so I basically wrapped it with basically what you have like a sock that you wrapped around this thing, and it goes all the way around to the other side. And the best part about it is that it's reusable. You're going to turn in this tank anyway, so you can take all this off and put it on your next tank. It's about a $20 procedure that could actually save you a little bit of propane, especially in the colder weather. So after I realized how vital my propane supply was, I decided to cut back on its usage quite a bit. So instead of using the grill, I've gone straight to using nothing but the microwave. I've got grid hookup going on right now. It's like $30 a day at this campsite, which isn't bad, and you can use all the other friggin' electricity you want. So the oven does take a lot of propane, or I should say the stove does take a lot of propane away. It does its job, but it does use a lot of propane. So part of that was, okay, what do I do next? How do I heat water or just use this stuff on solar? Well, this is a pretty cool thing they got here. It's just sort of like a hot plate, but it will boil it will boil water as long as you have electricity hooked up to it. So I can make soup in here. I can make coffee and tea. I can put oatmeal. You know, I can do all kinds of things. It's not just a coffee maker or like just a Keurig. You know what I'm saying? So it can do a lot of stuff. It was $14 at Target. Comes with this, you know, it's like a little plate it comes with. You just stick that thing back on there and you're good to go. It's pretty awesome. And then so what I've been doing is I like my eggs, and I've been doing it this way to make eggs instead of using the stove. I use the microwave. So believe it or not, eggs are some of the best things you can eat on the planet. They got a lot of protein and a lot of good stuff. You just need to make sure that you're cooking it properly and that you're you know, keeping it in the refrigerator properly. I can always do it with one finger. Always, every time. Nope. So yeah, this is what I like. What I like to do is I like to put a little piece of cardboard up here. And what that does is it angles my my egg concoction so that everything falls to one side, because it's a little bit big of a container. So you see how I have it all kind of angled to one side? I'm gonna leave those untouched. The microwave actually does a really good job at cooking those that way. It keeps, I don't know, I just kind of like it that way, and it won't be running or anything. So I got them angled. I put it on for, I start off with 30 seconds, and then use a couple more, maybe another 60 seconds it will need. But I like to do it in stages. So there's my 30 seconds, and it's gonna do its thing. I'm not gonna record it because I don't feel like holding the camera, but yeah, that'll be good in a few minutes. That's after 30 seconds. You start to see the white already come together up there, and then there's still the whole egg still is in there. So I'm gonna keep going. So what I like to do at this point is I like to break these open a little bit. They're already pretty much cooked, but I'm going to, obviously it's not good to have real runny eggs. But so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw some cheese in here, do it for another few seconds, and it'll be awesome. I do like to sprinkle some cheese on there and melt it down just a bit. Put it on for another 30 seconds. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty good, huh? All that's very well cooked. Nothing is runny. And then what I like to do is I like to take a little piece of sourdough bread and just chuck it in there. And then that's the meal. I just pick up a little bit, put on my sourdough bread, and it's good to go. Pretty good stuff, huh? Bon appetit.